wasn't flawed, you know.
Yeah, I think the only things people are really questioning is the expense, and I can see why it's supposed to be hard to get a max level divine pet.
Mhm.
Just how hard should hard be? You know what I mean? That's
Mhm.
what I would argue. Is like I think
Like, do you
if
want to make this ridiculous or do you want to
I
make it
think like
fair?
$1,500 is too hard to, to think,
Mhm.
but then maybe if it's like 200, $300, that's still ridiculously high. At least so that there won't be too many.
Mhm.
But it will at least for people that play hardcore and are the top, 0.5%. It's at least something they could do within a few months
Yeah.
or whatever. I don't know. Just balancing on the cost of it all.
Yeah. I agree.
I heard it's $40 to do it without feeding the pet anything.
So
So
what?
it'll have like level 0 abilities, just absolutely
Oh.
useless. So it costs $40 to get just the aesthetics of a divine pet, and it costs over $1,000 to get an actual good, like the most as good as it can be divine pet.
I think I think the price will always fluctuate. I don't know if there's like really a set. Um, I actually don't really know. Like I said, I'm really bad with numbers, so I tend to tune out when that happens.
I mean, fluctuate as in they're going to change what they're going to be.
Well, like prices are always being reworked on everything. So,
Yeah, hopefully they'll rework the prices on things. I think the fusion costs and the yard upgrades aren't too. I mean, they're expensive, but they're not crazy. It's just the feeding. You have to feed your pet so much, and each
mhm.
feeding costs so much. So that's, I
Yeah.
think, the biggest issue. Like if feeding was free or something, or like just one fame or five fame or one gold or something, then it would be more bearable.
Yeah.
Because then I could think about feeding my pet trash
Uh,
items instead of like the best items. Because if you feed them, you know, just any old crap, then it's just gonna be way too expensive. It's like
yeah.
you don't want to waste 100 fame feeding them something that only gives them like 150 feed power, because that's just a waste of your fame.
Yeah.
And it takes so much to max your pet up. Like it takes a lot of feed power. So if they adjust feed power that it takes to max your pet's levels, that would be something. Or if they just reduce the price of feeding, so I could, even though there's a ton of feed power it takes, I could at least feed the pet junk that I get as I get it. And by junk, I mean like good stuff, but just not stuff I would ever wear.
Yeah.
Like I
Well,
could put old tops and T8s and 9s and 10s into the pet as kind of like stuff I would normally not wear, but
mhm.
instead of trading it for pods, I would just feed it to my pet. But now, as it is, it's like only things worth feeding my pets are things I would want to wear, UTs and
Right, the high shit.
whatever. And it takes so many. Like it would take hundreds of the best items just to max like a legendary pet's feeding like
Mhm.
abilities or whatever. I don't know. I haven't even done it though. I mean, I've already put in tons of items to get it to rare, and it's almost maxed. It's I think
As a
two
rare.
two levels more on the first ability, and then 6 levels more on the second ability till it's maxed.
I tried pushing to get you guys a divine pet. I thought that would have been awesome.
Oh yeah, well that would have been cool. Um, except if it was like a divine mystery egg, then you could get just a totally useless divine pet anyways.
Yeah, that's true.
And
What
then
is
you
this thing following me? Is that a fairy?
that's someone with a divine Fairy. Now look, see his fairy's only healing him plus 6 MP?
Yeah,
That's horrible. Absolutely
because
terrible.
he
Because he
didn't
didn't put
max
any
it.
food into maxing it. He just made it look divine.
That's stupid.
So
See,
it's
we were getting
stupid
some
and it's
tickets
not
about
cool.
that, and it's like, well, we can't do anything about that. You're not supposed to do that, you know? But we understand also that they're, curious, and I wish there was an undo button that they could have. But I guess financially that doesn't make sense.
Yeah, but yeah, I don't know.
But this is so early on that they're still really working on what's going on. It's,
Yeah, it's a game and will always be in development, which is cool. A cool part about it too.
yeah.
Yeah. So if you were to give someone a divine pet and they got it and it was a terrible divine pet, then there's nowhere to go with it. Like it's useless. But if you give someone, if even if you had given us like given someone a legendary pet, it'd be a little bit more useful because even if it was useless, if it was in the same family as a pet you were maxing yourself, you could use it to fuse to that to get your
Oh,
divine pet.
right.
You know,
Yeah.
that's the whole other issue. Is like to max a pet, it doesn't just take one pet you're feeding and raising. It takes at least one, another uncommon, another common, another uncommon, another rare, another legendary
Mhm.
to get to divine. So that's like four other pets, and all those you want them to all be maxed as well. So
Yeah.
that's like feeding twice the amount to get to a max level
Okay.
legendary. And then divine's the only point where you're feeding it, and it's you don't have to feed another divine. You're just feeding that your divine pet you have now to get him to max level. It's just a ton. It's a ridiculous amount.
Yeah.
I understand why they did it because they have absolutely no clue. They have no concept in their mind how much like what 100 protomes means. You know, they don't
Right.
know.
Right.
Like if you were to go to Bill Gates and say like that pair of shoes over there costs like $500, he'd be like, okay, doesn't that sounds fine. You know what I mean? Or
Yeah, I don't know if
I
he
don't
does that.
know.
I don't know if that's yeah.
I don't know how he values money, but if if the person just has no concept of how much it takes to earn the money it is and how much money that means to someone else, it's just
Yeah.
hard for them to get into their mind. Kind of just like if someone said, imagine a room filled with $5 billion. Like you don't even know what that would look like, right?
Right.
I have no clue what that would look like. I don't know like if someone said imagine $20 in quarters in front of me, I could imagine that because I've experienced enough with quarters and $20 to know
Yeah.
how much it is. So when someone thinks, oh, to max this pet's, it's gonna take feeding them, 100 protomes, they're like, that sounds fine. They don't know. They don't know what it takes to get a protome. They don't know how much it takes to like accrue that many protomes, or trade for them, or whatever it is.
Mhm. Water. You got a little entourage. Look at this. Aw.